Hello everybody, and welcome to Obscurities in Miniature, and it is time once more for our weekly painting progress. So, report cards are done and the school year is pretty much finished, and that means my brain has been turned off and I can mentally check out and just do hobby stuff, at least for a few days. These guys, it's an Oathsworn Dwarf Infantry if you're not familiar. I had way too much fun painting them last week, so I painted another, and then I just went off the deep end painting little people. And I mean, besides little miniature people, but, you know, like dwarves and stuff. Anyway, so yeah, he was a holdout from the week before, along with a few others, and they're just not here because I stuck them in the cabinet already. But we have a very eclectic mix of stuff, but that shouldn't surprise you if you've ever watched my channel. So, let us get the festivities started for the week. So, let's see. What do we got? Let's start with dwarves. We have a random bones figure and a camera that is losing its mind. I don't know what your name is, friend, but you got painted up very generically. I don't like his ponytail. This dwarf needs to take better care of his hair. I also painted his eyes, but I went too crazy with the Agrax Earth Shade and it just washed it out, so I probably got to go back and fix that up. Next. Okay. I printed you. This is from Titan Forge Miniatures. This is from their Patreon, and he was probably back in February, I think they did the Metal Beards. He's just a fun model. I'm going to fix this up. I'm not happy with how his backpack turned out, but I really dig the sculpt. Yeah, I'm super zoomed in, but that's okay. The pipe, the apron, the tools. He's got a lot going on. It's a fun sculpt. And a pipe in Leon-style professional glasses. Fun touch. And then another Titan Forge Dwarf. I want to say this guy was originally in the Metal Beards Kickstarter. I could be wrong. Got his little bionic eye thing going on there. Lots of wires and tubes. I feel like I should probably go back and do something with this more ribbed one, just to make it a little bit more unique and stand outish, because it kind of blends in with the rest of his armor. In real life, it's a little bit different shade of silver, but I can probably do more with the electrical piston thingies on his backpack too. And then we have some more dwarves. We're going to skip from Titan Forge. We're going to go to Artisan Guild. And, oh gosh, what was her name? I don't remember her name. Helena Windfury or something fun like that. I wanted to do like a thunder and fire thing. I don't know if that's correct. I also did a horrible job of printing her, and you can see some of the marks there. I tried to clean it up, but not the greatest cleanup job. I'm not sure if she's actually supposed to be wearing pants or not. Obviously, I put pants on mine, and I'm really tempted to go back and make a totally different version, and flip her around, and then take the big punchy hands off of this dude, who's also from Artisan Guild, and give them to her and make her like a wild barbarian type. I like this guy. I don't like his pointy ears so much. I feel like he should have some dwarf tattoos. I also did a poor job of pulling supports off. Look at that mess. But I figured, you know what? I tried to clean it up, and I did a terrible job. I will admit I am getting better at it. Some of the model looks nice, and I figured I don't want to waste it. They've already printed him. Might as well do it proper and finish him off. So there's another dwarf and another dwarf. And you know what doesn't like a dwarf? Goblins. So I figured, why not paint some rivals for them? These are the old Kev Adams Heartbreaker sculpts. I got them from Impact. I'll put a link down below if you're curious. They're troll cast or troll forged. It's some kind of a resin. It's not like resin, like you're going to get all sick if you ingest too much of it, which you shouldn't anyway, but it was really easy to work with, really easy to clean up, and actually really easy and fun to paint. To me, this is what goblins are all about. That's the way a goblin should look. Not that there's anything wrong with, the little beady hooded face ones like this, but maybe it's just I grew up with this style, and to me these are the quintessential goblins. I'm not sure if he has hair or if he's wearing something under his helmet. So I went with a very neutral brownish color. One of the little runty ones. And just real quick, they painted up really easy. I'm probably going to paint some more, but I need more primer. You can see he's a little bit smaller. I think this is like one of the more heavily armored ones. Not a hobgoblin per se, but just a bigger one. And we got this guy as well. I'm not sure which is my favorite. One of these two. Had to have a red cap to hang out with the ogres for Kings of War. Alright, what else we got? Another Titan Forge model. We have powered up Gandalf looking old man wizard. I'm not sure what's up with him. He was from their April set, I believe, the Spellblades they were called, and it looks really washed out on camera, but I think he looks a lot better in person. I like the pipe. I like the muscular arm with the axe over the shoulder for whatever reason, and an armored hand. He's just a fun model, and much like the Impact stuff, he painted up really quick. It's a nice, easy, simple kit, and I think this is an original for them. It didn't ever get kickstarted or anything like that. And I printed it myself, and you'll notice there's nowhere near as many nasty support scars. He was a later removal. Speaking of other removals, we got another Artisan Guild model right here. This is one of their Oni. This is their May stuff, which is coming to an end. And I will put a link down below if you haven't checked them out. It's a pretty nice deal, pretty swanky deal for what you get. One of the cool things about all these is their weapons are totally modular. There is one model, and I'll probably try to do a video on them at the end of the month. And that doesn't help anybody who hasn't pulled the trigger at that point, but they all are pretty much modular, except there's one model that has a two-handed naginata that basically only she can hold, but there is a one-handed version, and you can switch them around through everybody in the entire range, and she's got a pretty nice size. I don't know what base she actually is supposed to be on. I put her on a 40mm base just because that's what size bases all of my Oni are on, if not bigger. Let's see, any other printed models? Yes. This should look familiar to people my age. I found this evil fighter on Thingiverse, and I was like, oh man, I used to own this guy when I was a kid, and I'm like, I totally have to paint him up. And he painted up really simple and nice. You can see his evil eyes in there. This is a model that I am shocked Gale Force 9 or WizKids or anybody that's involved with Dungeons & Dragons has not done an official proper release for it. Do it like a collector's one. You guys did Arkham the Black or the Cruel or whichever one. Joman, the Dragonborn dude. I keep thinking there. Unfortunately, there's the one dude in Nagash's army in Age of Sigmar. Anyway, do Warduke. Give us a collector's edition of Warduke, or put him in the unpainted stuff. You know, it's a cool little model. I don't know where I found it on Thingiverse. Search Warduke. I don't even know if that's how I found it. It's one of those deep dives on Thingiverse. Alright, we're almost done with the stuff I printed. This is a Black Knight Bellicoser from Maker's Cult. And they make all kinds of cool 40k stuff that isn't actually 40k, but could be. And I actually have no idea what you would use this guy for in a game of 40k proper, but he just looks neat. He's got like dual guns on his arms. He's got like grenades up here. He's got this big crazy sword. My first thought was probably what are they? The Grey Knight Paladins. But I mean, they kind of do their own thing. Maker's Cult really makes some interesting stuff. They've made like a whole line of modular Thunder Warrior type models. Eventually I'll try painting some up, or I'll have my brother paint them for me. They've got like a whole dark AdMech line of stuff and some crazy tanks for him, which hopefully I can get around to printing. But this guy was actually the worst of the lot that I printed, and I was like, screw it, I'm just going to try painting him up anyways. And I wanted to put some kind of writing on his armor. I just totally stole this off of CG Trader's picture that Maker's Cult put there, but he turned out okay. Especially from a distance, he looks fine. He's on a 40mm base, Where is a regular Marine in case? So yeah, I think that's probably the closest thing is he's supposed to be some kind of like a Grey Knight Paladin type. Nowhere near as bulky, but they've got some other cool stuff that I'll show off eventually. And then the last one is this Comet Lord Miniatures guy. He is, was it like a Crimson Hunter or something? I'll have a video on him this week. He's got a couple of buddies to hang out with. And again, this is an early print of mine, but it's getting there. He gave me a very Bloodborne vibe, so we had to have our evil pentagram on the floor there. But yeah, I dig this model. I really dig this model. I'm thinking since he's got some buddies, I might do every one of their overcoats in like a different color. He's the blue player, green player, red player. Something along those lines, maybe? Alright, let's get into kits that other people actually put together instead of me. Here's one. Whee! He's so important and big that he knocked the camera over. So our lizard friend here is from Antimatter Games. I want to say he was like a volcano lizard or something. I've had this guy since I first started getting back into the tabletop stuff. And that's got to be a good 6, 7, 8 years ago now. I want to say he was with that Cavalcade Wargame. I don't even think it was when Antimatter had become its own official line of miniatures yet. But I've had him sitting around half painted, and I finally just said, let's get it over and done with. And he's like on a 40mm base. And obviously that's not the correct base, but whatever. He's finished. And it is official. We can go another week of meeting our Kingdom Death quota. We have the male Great Game Hunter. He turned out alright. Honestly, he looks like something out of the Empire with those frilly pants and shirt. And he looks a bit like Conan O'Brien, but that might just be my fault. Not the most exciting to pose, unfortunately. It is an early plastic, and it is based off of the resins. I mean, if you look at the new stuff, I'm sure if they wanted to ever make some new Great Game Hunters, they would be really awesome looking. But he's finished. Let's see, what else we got? A random Malifaux figure. What is this, a Knight of Thorns or a Knight of Autumn or something? I don't even remember what she's called, but I thought she'd make a cool, like, wood elf type model. So I went with a totally different style of colors for her than what a lot of people have done. And then we got our Furian Blood Tribes Shaman Witch Lady done. She has plagued me because I could not figure out what parts are what, and finally I just said, okay, well, let's just roll with it, and I think I got all the right parts colored. Her crazy blood magic thing going on there was probably the biggest hang-up, but I think she turned out alright. She's on a 40mm base. A little bit bigger than the rest of the Furians. I'm glad I got her finished, though. I like her. And finally, that's a lot this week. Last but not least, he can't even fit on the screen. Our Dankhold Troggoth. I have slowly been trying to work my way through all of the various goblinoids that I've had laying around, and he was about 75% finished for a long time, and he just sat there languishing. So I thought, let's just give him a quick, simple paint job so he can finally be done and hit the table. My son has been really wanting to play goblins, so who am I not to want to, meet my child's needs? So, a nice, really random, really eclectic mix of stuff this week. And hopefully that's going to be a good indication of what I have in store for the summer, because it's about that time. Oh boy, so many little goblinoids. And dwarves. I don't know what got into me this week with the dwarves. Oh, dwarfs. I think this is still probably, whoa, my favorite of the bunch. The professional one. There's Leon looking goggles there. So yeah, hopefully as the weather turns nice, you all are out there staying safe, keeping busy, and painting plenty. Just like High Lord Tamberlane. With that said, this has been Obscurities in Miniatures. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you back here soon, and you're going to have plenty of painted stuff as well. Bye-bye.